What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video, and in this one we have, what did PM Modi achieve in Ukraine? I'm very excited to find out exactly what he achieved. I know Parky Sharma is going to break it down to us, so I'm so excited to dive in. But before we can do that, if you would like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you got to do is hit that join button down below, give it a quick tap, and receive exclusive benefits. But without further ado, let's find out about PM Modi.
So the attacks are intensifying, and the need of the hour is diplomacy. Any kind of talks or negotiations, something that will bring the tempers down. India made an attempt last week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi traveled to Kiev. He met President Volodymyr Zelensky, he visited war memorials and called for peace. But the trip has split public opinion back home. Some say it was a great balancing act, others say it was unnecessary, that India walked into a trap. And a big reason for that criticism is Zelensky himself. He held a long press conference after Prime Minister Modi left. And some of his comments were quite sharp.
Prime Minister is to see your people. And I need very much to find key to your country. Because I very much need your country on our side. Not balancing between us and Russia. If during official visit of Prime Minister you attack the children in the hospital, it's a very important moment. So he had to recognize after that he doesn't respect India or doesn't control his army. And he will tell you that Putin controls everything. So he can't say that he doesn't control his army. So it means that he doesn't respect Indian Prime Minister.
God dang. That was very sharp by President Zelensky of Ukraine. Very sharp criticisms. He's saying, hey, Modi, India, you can't sit on the fence. You can't balance between the both of us. We need you on our side. You can't balance between us and Russia. And he's saying Russia be downplaying y'all. Russia be talking about y'all, saying you can't even control your country. You can't even control your army. That Putin controlling everything. Russia be talking mad trash. Zelensky. The audacity. Parky, talk to me after what he said.
We get the sentiment. Hundreds of Ukrainians have died, thousands have been displaced, and there is no peace in sight. So we get the president's desperation. But you see, in diplomacy, you must hide your sentiments. You must welcome even the smallest of gains. And Zelensky did not do that. Instead, he criticized behind India's back. So tonight, let's take a closer look at Prime Minister Modi's trip. Was it necessary? What did it achieve? And did India walk into a trap? First, the timing. Modi visited Moscow in July. This year in July, he held a crucial meeting with President Vladimir Putin, even exchanged a hug with him. Of course, Ukraine and the West did not approve. Zelensky called it a huge disappointment. Now, India has normally ignored such criticism, but this time, Prime Minister Modi went a step ahead. He decided to visit Kiev personally. In diplomacy, this is called hyphenation. You visit Israel, you also visit Palestine. You visit Russia, you also visit Ukraine. Sort of like playing both sides. The question is, did India have to do this? Russia is one of New Delhi's oldest strategic partners. Ukraine is not. No Indian Prime Minister had even visited Kiev until last week. So you could say there is no equivalence. Russia is way more important than Ukraine. Then why did the Prime Minister visit Kiev? What did this visit achieve? Well, broadly, three things. Number one,
and I hate that it is. That's just facts. To India, Russia is much more important than Ukraine. Yet, India is not supporting Russia against you. India is not on Russia's side. But they're not against him either. What is it? Strategic autonomy, that is called. India, first and foremost, like I've said in many videos, India's first and foremost priority is the people of India. Is to take care of India. But Ukraine to say those sharp words after Modi visits, I completely agree with Sharma. Even if that's how you feel. In politics, you got to hide those sentiments, right? You got to be happy for even the smallest gain. And I feel like in doing this, right, you just kind of you just kind of smacked India across the face, like very disrespectful. Like it seems like Modi held out his hand to extend the olive branch, and you just smacked his hand away. Like I don't want that, no. And that's wild. Okay.
What did this visit achieve? Well, broadly, three things. Number one, it set the record straight on India's policy. It is not pro-Putin, it is not pro-war, it is not neutral. As Prime Minister Modi said, India is on the side of peace. And this sets New Delhi apart from China or Iran. Those countries are actively supporting Russia's war, but India is not. We buy Russian oil to keep inflation down, not to fund the war. If Ukraine can sell us cheaper oil, we would buy that too. It is not a political decision, it is a financial decision. And looks like Ukraine has finally understood that point. You may remember their comments from 2022 when Kiev compared Russian oil to buying Ukrainian blood.
Wow.
At least that rhetoric has disappeared. Point number two, a check on Russia. Yes, Moscow is an old partner for India, but it's also an ally of China, and that is a reality. Putin and Xi Jinping have a no-limits partnership. So if things go south, who will Putin back, India or China? We don't know. Plus, Russia is not as reliable as before. Consider the S-400 missile system. India bought that Russian missile in 2019. 3 systems have been delivered. 2 more were supposed to come this year, but the war has caused a delay.
Oh, wow.
The new deadline is 2026. Same with financial transactions. India has invested billions of dollars in Russian energy giants, but the returns are few. India has a 20% stake in the Sakhalin-1 oil field. So New Delhi wanted oil equity, basically a share of the oil from the field, but Russia said no. Instead of oil, it wants to give India dividends. Just one problem though, Russia cannot transfer money to India. Their energy firms are cut off from the global payment systems. So unpaid dividends are mounting. It has reached almost $600 million. Imagine that. Russia owes Indian state-owned companies $600 million in dividends. While that remains unpaid, why would India want more dividends?
Facts.
And don't forget the issue of Indians fighting in the Russian army. We're talking about 30 to 50 Indian nationals. Most of them were duped into joining Russia. Putin promised to repatriate them, but 2 months on, there is no update. So the bottom line is quite clear. Russia is not the reliable rock that it used to be, whether it's for defense or business.
It ain't sounding that way. It sounds, Russia definitely ain't sounding reliable in terms of, India wanted a piece of the oil. They wanted some of the oil. They didn't want dividends in the first place, but you say dividends, and now you owe in excess of 600 million dividends. They pay for these military weapons, these missiles. You've delivered 3. You still owe them 2. And we understand delayed because of the war going on. Now you got a new deadline of 2026. So it's not like India's looking at Russia and saying, we support you, we got your back. No. All India, like she said, all India's doing is saying y'all are offering oil at the best price, and in order to keep inflation down in our country, we will purchase it from you at that price. But if there was a better price on the table, India would pay that. You feel me? Okay, talk to me.
Brings us to the final point, the need for diplomacy. You see, wars often go into autopilot. The fighting becomes routine, the destruction is normalized, and you forget that there is an alternative. A possibility of peace, you forget that. Prime Minister Modi reminded Zelensky of that. He urged Ukraine to hold peace talks. And it's important to keep this conversation alive because the West will not, Russia will not, so someone must.
Facts.
India lost nothing by undertaking this journey. Our ties with Russia remain strong, but conditions apply, and our strategic autonomy unscathed. At the same time, we gained a few things. We built more trust with Ukraine. We provided clarity on our position and put the focus back on diplomacy. So we say that's a step forward in this deadlocked conflict.
Yeah, I think in the end, Modi made the right choice in going to Ukraine and meeting with Zelensky. I do think, again, like I said earlier, it was kind of Modi was offering an olive branch, and it felt like Zelensky smacked his hand away with the statements that he said after Modi left. I don't think there was a need for those statements to be said about India. But once it, like Paki Sharma said, you understand that he's desperate because there are so many Ukrainian lives being lost, and definitely hate that human lives are being lost in this world. I can't stand that, but that's what Modi's trying to do. That's what India's trying to do, is to promote peace. India's trying to stop the bloodshed and stop more and more people from losing their lives. They're trying to bring these two countries to the table and then try to figure out like what it's going to take, get peace talks going. Because she said that's not going to happen from the West. That's not going to happen from anybody else. So India is the country that's trying to promote peace between these two countries and to stop war and to stop this number of countless lives being lost. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. How do you feel? Do you feel like Modi walked into a trap? Do you think Modi actually did the right thing? Absolutely did the right thing. Do you think India lost anything? Do you agree that Zelensky words were very sharp and kind of like slapping that olive branch, slapping away that olive branch? What do you think about Russia? I got some new information in this one. It seems as if they're becoming more unreliable, from what I heard. But she said ties are still strong with Russia. India still, their strategic autonomy remains unscathed, and they gain a stronger or deepened relationship with Ukraine. So let me know what you guys' perception of this situation is. That's all we have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and then check out this next video. I'll see you guys there.